Hey guys, welcome to Gully Cricketer. I know I'd been away for some time. I was just taking a break after the IPL as well, and just hoping that things get better in India before we start speaking about cricket again. But no, I just wanted to start by saying I wish everyone in India to be safe. I hope everyone recovers if you have COVID, and if not, please be safe. Get vaccinated when the time comes, and yeah, just be careful. Together you guys can write this out, and things will improve soon. So just hang in there, and things will get better. That I just really wanted to start with that. Coming to the World Test Championship, it's going to be exciting times. Mid of next month, India is going to be leaving for England 2nd of June, and then you're gonna have the World Test Championship final 18th of June at Southampton, the Rose Bowl against New Zealand, which obviously a very tough team to beat. I'm gonna talk about the Indian squad who's gonna be going to England on that tour, and then we'll analyze it a bit in terms of whether India has a good chance to beat New Zealand. So the Indian squad, I think the Indian 11, it's going to be who played against England and Australia. It's going to be Gill, Sharma, Kohli, Pujara, Rahane, Pant, Ashwin, Jadeja, Bumrah. Shami is going to come back. Jadeja has come back, and then I think between Ishant and Siraj, one of them will play. Probably Ishant. So this is who will be playing mostly at the Test Championship finals. And once the Test Championship final ends on the 22nd of June, then in and then I think the last week of June is when India starts to play their Test series with England. It's going to be a 5-match Test series. It's going to be a wonderful Test series. So India is going to be in England for a long time. Now, does India have a good chance to beat New Zealand? India will go in as favorites, but one thing that New Zealand has shown time and again, and especially against India in an ICC event, they have always had an upper hand to beat India, and this will be no different. But saying that, there's always a first for India. I think both sides are very good, and based there'll be some good cricket to play, and we'll see who wins. Obviously, I hope India wins, and they should. Ideally, they should. Considering New Zealand's squad, I think they may not have couple of key players. If that happens, India gets a better, they'll be playing with some better odds. But still, you have, I think, the one of the world's best players. Um, After Kohli, I don't, more than Smith. I like Williamson. He is just unbelievable. So with Williamson in the squad, and some firepower with Jameson, Loki Ferguson in bowling. BJ Watling has announced that after the Test Championship final, he's going to retire from all forms of cricket. So that'll give them some added ammo to some added motivation to go and um, play the best cricket that they can to give him a good farewell. That actually plays a very important part towards motivation of a team. So I believe New Zealand are going to be very tough to beat, and always be a result in modern day Test cricket. So a chance of the Test match being drawn, I don't think so is going to happen. So either India is going to win or New Zealand, and I believe India should win. On for backup, India has Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar as spinners, and then for bat, from a batting perspective, India has Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul, and probably Saha as well, who's going to go. So imagine Vihari, considering Vihari's fitness, Vihari probably will play number 6, and Pant will still play 5. But we'll see how Vihari is doing. Otherwise, KL Rahul may make way for Vihari. We'll see. But yeah, like it is going to be a great test match. I believe it'll be tough for India. But I would say we'll see how the weather is in England at that point in time. In June, usually it's a bit cold still. Yeah, it's just like summer's not at full bloom, so it'll still be a bit gloomy or overcast in England, and obviously England English rain. It can come in at any point in time. So the biggest spoiler I think in that game can be the rain. So that would be one thing that everyone would be hoping stays away. The just 2 3 years ago when the World Cup happened in England, it just the start of the tournament it just rained all day, and so many matches got wiped out because of it. So I think it's very important to consider the weather in England and then see what happens. By the time India starts to play against England, end of June, I think the weather would have improved. The later part of from July, the weather would have improved, and that will just help India because the more sunnier it gets, hopefully the Duke doesn't move that much. They still have Anderson, they still have Broad, and Anderson. We've seen how difficult Anderson can be. But we'll talk about India England in another video. Today was more about the Test Championship final. Again, um, Kohli, Gill. Kohli's been playing well. Obviously, not scored 100 in obviously last 3 years and about 15 to 16 Test matches. As per his standards, this is pretty low. He has still been scoring a lot of runs. He scores 70s, 80s, 60s, very good. But from his standards, I think 100 is due. And what a way it could be to score 100 in a World Test Championship final. We can expect that from Kohli. And then you have Sharma, who probably one of the best batsmen in the Indian squad, along with Kohli. So I think our batting lineup's great. So we'll see what happens. And with Shami and Jadeja coming back into the squad after their injuries in Australia, India now looks pretty solid. Bumrah's fit, Ishan's fit, so it is going to be is going to be wonderful. We also on the bench will have Umesh Yadav, the youngsters Avesh Khan, and Arzan. I forgot his last name, but Arzan from Gujarat, lefty. They're on standby, but they probably are going to travel because these guys may need net bowling. So for practice and England against New Zealand and also against England after the Test Championship final. So India is going to be needing the full 20-man squad, and hopefully, yeah, hopefully the weather doesn't play a spoiler. It is one other thing was there is mostly going to be crowd, so it'll be good to see some normalcy restored. UK has already, I think, vaccinated more than 30-40% of their population fully, both the doses. So it's just by the time India reaches England, they should be in a better spot. The Indian cricket team mostly is also going to be fully vaccinated by the time they go, which is good. And similarly, New Zealand cricketers. Some of them already are in England now, so they just went right after the IPL. I think Trent Bolt was the only one who went back to New Zealand after the IPL was suspended. Otherwise, the whole team did go to England, and I think they're going to first play with England, the two Test matches, and then they're going to play with India, which is great for them because they would have already gotten acclimatized in England, so they will be better equipped to play in England compared to the Indian cricketers, and that gives them actually a better chance of winning the World Test Championship. So we'll need to see how India plays, and hopefully they're able to win. This will be great to watch. Apart from this, I wanted to talk about one good thing that has happened, which is there is a second Indian team. This is not India A, this is not India B, this is a second Indian team which is going to go to Sri Lanka and play two ODIs and five T20s. And the all the cricketers who did not get a chance to go to England and play against, play for India in the test matches, they all are going to go and play in Sri Lanka, which also would be a preparation for the T20 World Cup that's going to happen later during the year. And I believe this is like a great initiative taken by the board. It's great to see that we have enough strength for us to build out two teams, not just one. So that squad also looks pretty strong. So if you hear, if you consider who is probably going to be in that squad, even that's a 20-man squad that's going to go to Sri Lanka. It's going to be Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, and then Hardik Pandya, Krunal Pandya. You're going to have Bhuvi, Prasid Krishna if he doesn't go to England, and then you're going to probably have there are a couple of Kartik Tyagi, Kartik Tyagi from Rajasthan. You have Chetan Sakaria from Rajasthan, and then I think one of the two left-handed bowlers from Punjab. I think Arshdeep Kaur or Harpreet Brar, the spinner. One of those guys will be picked in fast bowling. For spinners, like plenty of options. You have Chahal, Rahul Chahar, and Ravi Bishnoi. So the three leggies, great options. And then for the for the pinch hitters, the finishers, obviously you have Pandya, but there'll be a good use case for Deepak Huda to go. I think Deepak Huda is a serious contender. Also, if he makes it to Sri Lanka and does well, he can also just end up being in the Indian squad for the T20 World Cup. So great chance for him. I don't think so Vijay Shankar or anyone is going to go because they aren't doing that well. Varun Chakravarti is another spinner. He's a dark horse considering fitness. If he is fit, he's going to play. Now, mostly not just for not just in this Indian team who's going to go to Sri Lanka, but also in the T20 World Cup. So great squad. And big opportunity for all these guys to go to Sri Lanka and also win there. They're certainly like a very strong team. And they they can certainly beat Sri Lanka. So this will also be another series which will be good to watch. Imagine one Indian team playing test matches, the other team playing one day international, more like how England did it. Uh, when England was playing test matches, and I think Dubai against Pakistan, then one the white ball England cricket team was playing their ODI against Ireland and a couple of other countries. So this is probably the new norm that's going to take place because there are so many players and the amount of cricket that is happening. One team cannot do be everywhere. So I believe this concept is here to stay. That wouldn't mean we lose quality, especially in India. I don't think so. If you instead of 11 spots, if you have 20, that's still a very tough um, amount of odds to achieve. In a country of billion people who play cricket only, there are only 11 or 20 spots. That's still very low. So I think we should be okay, but it's just great for the cricketers who've been playing, trying to make it to the Indian team, never got a chance to play, and yeah, it'll just be great to watch when India goes to Sri Lanka. After that, I heard I was watching an interview in which Ganguly said they may possibly do IPL in July sometime. I don't even know how or where they're going to be conducting this, in what calendar month, or it can be in Dubai, it can be also in either Sri Lanka or England. Actually, the counties offered the IPL franchises that you can come and continue the pending IPL matches in England. So we need to see what happens. But I would like to say that I don't think so. If they don't do IPL this year, it's a big deal. Like I know it's a loss, but it's a very small price to pay compared to what's happening in India at this point in time. I'm not against cricket. I'm like, I love cricket, but it's just that we need these things, and then, like, we need the wave in India to settle down. We need to go back to how it was prior to March. Like, things were like so good in India. It was like obviously cold was there, but like, the cases were so low and it was fine. Like, everyone was going about doing their business. So I would say I if it doesn't happen this year, I don't think so. That's the end of the world. Instead, they can use this time to promote Test cricket, to promote ODI cricket, right? Like have like big bilateral series, like how India is going to play England for 5 Test match series. Have India just played Australia? India can play like South Africa. Other countries can play as well, like South Africa, Australia. England's gonna Ashes is gonna happen soon as well. So I would say, like, get everyone's interest back into uh, Test cricket or ODIs. This is a good chance because, like, hosting 10 franchisee teams, it is tough to maintain that bubble. But like, if there are only two teams and the bubble needs to be maintained, that gives everyone a chance to like go back and go back to like the traditional cricket and then like grow. Even you could play T20 between countries. Just make that a long series, like you'll have a better chance to keep everyone safe. So I would say with this whole IPL thing, I would say, like, it's better to hold off on it till like the situation improves, and we'll see what happens. Let's watch India play. I think I much rather prefer international cricket games than franchisee. No, I'm not against franchisee games, but I would say at this point in time, it's better that everyone, like, we go back to watch international games instead of like franchisees, which is actually riskier for everyone involved. But yeah, saying that, I'll like we'll do another video for India versus England, and see what comes out of it. Thank you all for watching and have a good day. Bye.